Hi, and welcome to Subject-Verb Agreement lesson for today. There are 5 tricks that ACT especially will put into their testing when they test students over Subject-Verb Agreement. These include inserted material, inverted sentence order, pronoun subjects like one, body, and thing, compound subjects, and either or, neither nor. We will go through each of these to show you what the trick is and how to look for it. Number 1 is inserted material. ACT will tend to insert material between the subject and verb to try to confuse you. They'll try to put nouns close to the verb that aren't the subject and make them seem like those two should agree. But you've got to go back and you've got to find the true subject, and you have to make sure that true subject agrees with the verb. For example, the student chosen for the Lancer Scholarship by the teachers were preparing for an exam when the aliens landed. So you start the strategy by finding the verb. The verb is were preparing. You then ask who or what did the verb to find the true subject. So who or what were preparing? Well, in this case, it's the student that were preparing. Then you cross out all these words in between, and you find that student is singular, so he or she, and we don't say he or she were preparing, we say he or she was preparing. So therefore, we need to change the verb here in this case to make it agree. The trick is they try to put this word teachers here and make it plural by the verb we're preparing, so it sounds correct, but not with the true subject. The true subject is student. Here's some practice. At this time, you can pause the video and do practice on your own. And here are the answers. So go ahead and check your answers now. And then once you're ready, continue on. Unpause the video. So, here's number 2. Number 2 trick is inverted sentence order. So just like the slide is in a different order, the sentence is going to be in a different order. Usually we find the subjects before the verbs, but now you're going to find the subjects that come after the verbs. The sentence order is inverted. So again, the strategy is that you're going to find the verb, you're going to circle it, you're going to ask who or what did the verb to find the subject and underline it. You're going to replace the subject with the pronoun, either singular or plural, he or she or they, and then you're going to see if the subject and verb agree. So close by the fire sits an old man whose countenance is furrowed with distress. Sits is your main verb. You ask yourself who or what sits. It's not the fire that's sitting, it's the old man who's sitting. So, old man, man, he sits. That's correct, therefore the sentence would be correct. Here's some more practice. Again, you can pause the video, do the practice, and check your answers on the next slide. At this time, go ahead and pause and do the practice. And here are the answers. Again, pause the video, check your answers, and then you can move on. Number 3 strategy is pronouns. And the deal is that one, body, and thing, no matter what words you put in front of them, are always singular. Even if it's everyone, that's singular. Everybody, that's singular. I know it sounds like a large group, but in English grammar, it is singular. Nobody is also an example of one that's singular. So here's some practice. Again, pause the video, do the practice, and you'll find the answers on the next slide. Here are the answers. Go ahead and pause and check your answers. Number 4, compound subjects. This is another trick. When the subject of the sentences consists of 2 or more elements joined with a conjunction and, the subject is considered plural and requires a plural verb. So you find the verb, you ask yourself who or what did the verb to find the subject. You look in the subject, you see if you can find the and, see if you can find the connector. And if you have a compound subject, you then make sure that you've got a plural verb to go with it. Here's some practice. Again, at this point, you can pause the video, do the practice, and then the next slide will have the answers. Here are the answers. Make sure you check them, and then continue on. Strategy number 5 deals with either or, neither nor. And this is the trick one because now it doesn't say and, so now you go with the subject that is the closest to the verb. With neither nor, either or, you go with the subject that's closest to the verb. So you find the verb, you ask yourself who or what does the verb, you find the one that's the closest, and you make that match with the verb. Here's some practice. Do these practices, pause the video, and then you can go on to the answers. Here are the answers. Check them and then move on to the next strategy. And that's strategy 5.